this is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
What a powerful political comeback of Donald Trump in the White House. Wow. Like him or not, Donald Trump is back. And if you want to find more, watch this.
I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for. But hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran. Now I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body.
Donald Trump is being elected as the 47th president of the United States of America. But how possible is that? Because everything was set in order for them to put him aside.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Yes, they did everything possible in their power to destroy the man called Donald Trump politically. And all surprisingly, the world woke up to another new breaking news, which no one see it coming. But how did we get to this point? Well, it all started from the assassination attempt to the indictment of Donald Trump.
January 6th and the days after the attack on the U.S. Capitol. This comes after former President Donald Trump faces a new federal indictment related to allegations he tried to illegally interfere with the last election.
Is how everything was planned in order for them to put Donald Trump aside from these elections. We also what happened in Washington, D.C., 6th January 2021.
On the afternoon of January 6, 2021, supporters of Donald Trump stormed the United States Capitol building. The attack was an effort to prevent certification of the results of the 2020 presidential election. in which Democrat Joe Biden had defeated Republican Donald Trump, the incumbent president. In the months leading up to the election, Trump had pushed false claims that Democrats were planning to rig the results. After Trump lost, he promoted the falsehoods further and encouraged his supporters to attend a rally on January 6th to protest the congressional vote counting ceremony. At the rally near the White House, Trump called on Vice President Mike Pence to stop the congressional proceedings and send the results back to the states to be recertified. Pence did not. Trump also called on the crowd to march on the Capitol. Before Trump's speech had concluded, a mob of his supporters gathered around the Capitol building barriers. As people from the rally began to join them, the crowd broke through the barriers and overwhelmed police officers. Shortly after 2 p.m., the mob breached the Capitol building, forcing Congress to recess and be locked down.
And because of that protest, Donald Trump was accused of betrayal, saying that he circulated lies about the fraudulent elections. He revolted these people in order for them to go and attack the House.
Democrats are weaponizing the Justice Department against me because they know I am winning, and they are desperate to prop up their failing candidate, Kamala Harris.
When they put the blame on him, and we also how they have to take him to court, accusing him, saying that he is the one who revolted these people with lies and trying to stop Joe Biden to not take the office as the president-elected of the United States of America.
After a new federal grand jury re-indicted former President Donald Trump on 4 charges in special counsel Jack Smith's case, accusing him of conspiring to overturn the results of the 2020 election. This morning, never-before-released footage from January 6th and the days after the attack on the Capitol, including video of then-House Speaker Nancy Pelosi slamming former President Trump during a meeting with her staff.
There's a domestic enemy in the White House.
The footage was turned over to Congress by HBO and obtained by CBS News. It comes one day after the special counsel's revised Trump indictment meant to comply with the Supreme Court's July ruling that presidents have broad immunity for official acts.
The allegations relate solely to the actions former President Trump took as a candidate, in other words, in his personal capacity.
The slimmed-down charging document removed the allegations concerning Trump's attempts to pressure the Justice Department into supporting his false claims that the election was rigged. One of the unnamed co-conspirators, who CBS News identified as Jeffrey Clark, a Trump ally within the DOJ, has also been taken out.
This is a persecution of a political opponent.
Trump has repeatedly denied all wrongdoing, and last night he again accused the special counsel of election interference. Trump's lawyers are expected to fight it.
When we then also how the court have to come and cancel these charges against Donald Trump, saying that presidents they are having that immunity whenever they take decisions during their mandates. But that was not enough, because there were still some judges who have to go against this and come back and insist on taking Donald Trump even more far to the court in order for them to deal up with him.
The release of this falsehood-ridden, unconstitutional J6 brief immediately following Tim Walz's disastrous debate performance and 33 days before the most important election in the history of our country is another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine and weaponize American democracy and interfere in the 2024 presidential election.
Nevertheless, we saw Donald Trump being found guilty about 20 cases which was behind him, and then Donald Trump who have to come and show his regret on how the justice system is being at the service of a certain group of individuals who want to destroy Donald Trump. And that is when Donald Trump have to come and express himself by saying this.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
He almost did not make it to the ballot, since there were a lot of group of people who were busy following him up, and this have to be raising up a lot of conflict, even in some states, because we had to see also on his side some lawyers who have to go and defend him by asking this state to remove Donald Trump from their blacklist. But that was not all, because Donald Trump was the first president, I mean, not only in the USA, but apparently in the entire world, who was banned to be in social media. We saw different social media such as Facebook, Instagram, name them as you wish. All these social medias, they have received an order in order for them to block Donald Trump, so that the man should not be able to have any kind of platform for him to express himself.
What Facebook, Twitter, and Google have done is a total disgrace and an embarrassment to our country. Free speech has been taken away from the President of the United States because the radical left lunatics are afraid of the truth. But the truth will come out anyway, bigger and stronger than ever before. The people of our country will not stand for it. These corrupt social media companies must pay a political price and must never again be allowed to destroy and decimate our electoral process.
Banning Donald Trump from social media, it had left him without no choice, because in the world of today, it is all about communicating with the world. If you are not being part of these social media platforms, it is like you have isolated yourself from the world. So what Donald Trump had to do was for him to create his own platform in order for him to be able to communicate with his followers or people who still believe in him. And this took place until when Elon Musk decided to buy the Twitter and change it to the X. That is when he bring Donald Trump and reopen his account. Elon Musk went even far by offering his service to Donald Trump administrations in case if he have to win this election that just took place.
I think it would be great to just have a government efficiency commission that takes a look at these things and just ensures that the taxpayer money, the taxpayers' hard-earned money, is spent in a good way. And I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
I'd love it
if it were formed.
Well, you're the greatest cutter.
Now, since they could not be able to succeed by taking Donald Trump through the justice system inside the courts, through the suspending him from participating in social media, now they have to come up with another plan. And this time we're talking about the assassinations of Donald Trump. Yes, he was addressing people when these assassinations took place.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move it spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Ready.
That incident led up to this legendary photo, which generation to generation won't forget of what had happened that day. But now that they have tried all these things in order for them to put Donald Trump and they keep on failing, what can them do now next?
So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously. They have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have it.
What happened next was for them to try to re-assassinate him again while Donald Trump was busy playing golf in one of his golf field. And this had now revealed the weakness of the Secret Service, which is supposed to be protecting Donald Trump. But here comes a strange man who walk in and even position himself in the right place in order for him to take Donald Trump. They failed what they could have given as a good reasons.
This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I could muster.
Now that this second assassination attempt against the former President Donald Trump, who is now a current president of the United States of America, well, now that it has failed, the media of the Western, which is supposed to be speaking the truth and clarifying up everything in order for the world to understand, well, they were now beating around the bush. Instead, they were busy accusing Donald Trump and saying that no, he made all this. He faked up his own assassination attempt against him so that he can attract some attention from the people who are supposed to be voting for the president.
The Trump campaign is seizing on this apparent assassination attempt as a way to rile up his base.
He's trying to use this also politically, unsurprisingly.
The apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
To show you how all this it has been embarrassing for them, they end up communicating with Google in order for Google to hide this footage of both two assassination attempts which took place against Donald Trump.
If you Googled Rogan Trump,
they got to Joe. They got to Joe. He's apologizing.
You could only get clips. You couldn't watch the whole episode. You couldn't find it. And so we reached out to them a couple of times and they fixed it to their credit. So now you can find it.
At the end of the day, Donald Trump ended up getting all the necessary support from the Republicans, and they have to nominate him to become the only candidate who will have to face the Democrats. When Donald Trump was going through all the things that we just mentioned and show you through the footage and the different reports in this video, well, on the other side, the Democrats, they were living their peaceful and enjoyable life. They spend more than $3 billion in order for them to win these elections.
Yeah, well, I think it was kind of predictable, given the campaign that's been run by the Democrats. It seems obvious that there was going to be a lack of self-awareness in the end, and that's kind of defined by the amount of time it took her to come out and actually concede that she'd been beaten, and beaten very, very hard. It was a significant win for the Republicans. We've seen that. So a lack of self-awareness and a lack of sort of an ability to say, look, I was beaten. It's over. Obviously, the American people have decided they want something else. Democracy has worked. No mention of the fact that President Biden called more than half, now we know, of the American people garbage, rubbish. Dirt, essentially. No mention of the fact that Biden probably should have stepped out of this race a long time ago, despite the fact we were told he was sharp as a tack. So I think kind of predictable. And I think she actually believes herself, it seems to me, that, this election was probably stolen because the people just didn't know what they want. They don't know. We know best. This is the Democratic attitude. You don't get a right to actually choose. We know best. Very parent and child attitude of the Democrats. But the American people have completely different ideas, as we now see.
At the end of the day, people of America spoke. They made their choice, and Donald Trump is back inside the White House. We are looking forward to see from these new terms that Donald Trump have secured inside the White House. I believe that will be all, guys. It was very important that we have this conversation with you. Please do us a favor. Like this video in your numbers. We really do appreciate that. Just click that thumb button. Just click that top button that shows like this. We will really do appreciate that. It's a way of making this video reach even more viewers out there. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and feel free to drop us also your comment in the comment section. Tell us what is in your mind. Tell us what to think about what we're discussing, and give us also your opinions. We'll have a look on that. I believe, guys, that will be all for today. But for now, continue to be yourself. Be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.